If they are breaking the law, what should we do?
The laws of Grenada have got to be observed. As far as Grand Harbour is concerned, we have a residential community down there, and it is obvious, and it has been explained to them, that they cannot work into the night and have equipment working. We have residents, we have houses, we have people with children. So they're in a residential community. So on that score, I mean, they're guided by what I consider to be norms. I'm satisfied.
And that's a responsibility of the contractor.
It's a responsibility of the contractor, yes. They said that,
would not
yes,
say
you can't create
laws.
beyond, yeah, I don't address the laws specifically, but the fact
But for what you said, is it important that these people, international workers, obey the laws of the country that they're going to work in?
Whenever I leave Grenada, sir, I am the most law-abiding citizen. If I have to break the law, I'm going to take my chances here. If I leave Grenada, I'm on my best behavior, and I imagine everybody should do the same.
We have another caller. Hello, good evening. Hello?
Brian, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
I can't hear you at all. Anyway,
I can hear you. I can hear you.
Good night to you and your guest. Brian, you asked the crucial question, and I don't think any of the guests answered the question, and I seriously doubt whether they can. To me, only the government can answer the question. The question is the playing field level? And I am sure these people came in here to build a stadium under special conditions between the state of Grenada and the state of China, and they're allowed to stay. The question is, under what conditions were they brought in to do the stadium? And if they are permitted to stay here to compete with our local workers, they should compete with them under the same terms and conditions, as the caller mentioned before, under our laws. But we don't know that. And that is something that must be explored, because as the first caller mentioned, the labor laws, the overtime laws, are they keeping a minimum wage? Is there a minimum wage in the construction or a set wage? All these things we don't know. So you see, we are dealing in a situation now almost with blinders on. And those are the questions I think that must, and it's the union's responsibility to find that out. Under what terms and conditions were they brought here? And has those terms and conditions changed as a result of they being permitted to stay here and compete with our local workers? Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Carl. Madonna, I think this is a question for you. The local, you have these people in Grenada working. Shouldn't the trade unions be able to answer this question, whether or not they're breaking the laws?
Well, they are breaking the laws. If they're working in excess of the 40-hour work week, they are breaking the laws.
Do we know that for sure?
Well, of course, for how the work that they did at the stadium, they were working in the nights as well.
But that might not be the same way they're going to be working at Grand Harbour.
It won't be. It won't be. I mean, I don't have tied down the exact hours, but we do have a specification that we have residents, we have people that, you know, beyond nightfall, they cannot have equipment working and that sort of thing.
If they're in violation of the laws of the land, Andrew, as the person who is doing the project, what would you do? If they're in
I would have to establish that they're in violation of the laws to begin with. I mean, and
would that be in violation of their contract? If they're breaking the laws of the land?
No, that would be a matter for the police if they start breaking the laws.
I hear you. We have two more callers on line. Let's take them. Hello, good evening. Hello?
Hello?
Yes, good evening.
Yes, good evening. My concern is, I heard Mr. Bezinski said that they are international workers, the Chinese, the people who are working for him now come to work for him. But my concern is that if a Grenadian go to America or Canada illegally, they cannot work in America or Canada, right? You have to hide to work, okay? You must have your permanent to get a job. Are these people permanent in Grenada, to be working in Grenada? Are they permanent? I mean, I don't understand what's going on in Grenada, because if they are not permanent, they are illegally here working for Mr. Bezinski. Are they permanent? I find that's a matter for the government to look into, because I know for a fact that you cannot work in certain jobs in Canada. You cannot go and do construction. You have to be hiding. You have to. This is serious. This is serious thing in Grenada now. China will soon be taking over our country.
Thank you.
I mean, I have a problem with that.
Thank you very much, caller.
If I could just quickly, I don't know the legal status of the individual workers, Sojicoa Caribbean Limited is a locally registered company, and my contract, the Grand Harbour contract, is with a locally registered company that has its headquarters, of course, in China.
Okay.
So it is a local arm of an international company.
Yeah, we have another caller. We have one more caller. Hello, good evening. Hello?
Hello?
Yes, good evening.
My question is to Mr. Beninsky. I would
Yes,
like
sir.
to ask him, if the Chinese were not in Grenada, would he have put his tender out in the Caribbean so that other Caribbean contractors would have been able to bid, or would he have stuck with the local contractor?
The answer to that is very simple. We would have had to gone to Caribbean companies, either Barbadian, Trinidadian would most likely have gotten it. The developer is from Trinidad. His preference has been to use Trinidadian companies because he knows them. The rates are set and established, so that's probably what would have happened. We could not proceed with the local contractor on the basis of price and the fact that we could not come to terms with the quantity surveyor on what really is an accepted costing basis.
So you probably would have gone out to tender in the Caribbean.
I would have had to have gone out to tender. The reason that we didn't go to tender was a question of speed, because at the point that the final negotiations broke down, we had to advise Creative that they were in a competitive bidding situation on September the 10th, okay? That is when they submitted a revised bill of quantities. But I want to make one point here importantly. The public must understand that at no point in time, contrary to all the stuff that's been in the news, did Grand Harbour fire, as has been alleged by the local contractor, any local contractor. The local contractor on the 30th of July walked off the job. That same day, the 30th of July, we heard that they had walked off the job when we were cutting a check in the bank for $215,000 in respect of an interim certificate, ICO 002. And we were in the bank, and my staff come and say, but they're leaving. And I went, well, how could that be? We had this thing from about 4 days
ago. We're going to arrange a press conference here to get all the detail out. Madonna, just before we go to break, the question has come up here time and time again. This matter has been in the public domain for weeks. Are you surprised that the government has not come out and tell us whether or not these people are in violation of the laws of the country?
Well, the Chinese are here, and I think they would have been here as guests of the government.
So you're saying that there must be some
Yes,
arrangement between the Chinese government and the government of
There
India?
must be some arrangement.
If that is so, isn't it important that they tell us that?
Yes, they should tell us something.
Viewers, please stay with us. We have to take a break. We'll be right back.